Hey everybody, it's Coach Brett. I'm out on a really long bike ride. I think 3 hours is going to be it for today. A little fatigued from yesterday, but I wanted to talk to you for a minute about fueling. And I've been working on a way to try to calculate better fueling for your rides so that you have a better performance. And by the way, it's really windy out here, and I apologize. I've tried to get into some trees, so you can see the trees, but it's 20-mile-an-hour winds out there, which kind of sucks when you're riding into it for an hour straight. But the thing I wanted to show you was the trick is to use heart rate, and I'm going to show you a graph here in a minute back at the home office. But you use heart rate, and if you can't get your heart rate up to an ideal rate, then either your fueling's too high or too low. So you got to kind of feel that one out with measuring how much fuel you're taking in. So I've got a trick. Basically, you take the minimum with you. Well, you put the minimum in water bottles. So for example, I've got Perpetuum right here. So let's turn this around. I've got Perpetuum right here, but actually it's in here. So using the recommendations for my body weight, I put in the minimum for my body weight and then went out on the ride. And the graph I'll show you is this really cool graph. But the trick is you do that, and then if you can't get your heart rate up to where you want and you feel a little bit weak, then you've brought more. There's a scoop in there and everything. You want more with you, and you can adjust, right? And by putting it in one water bottle at a time, 1 hour at a time, you can measure it out. I actually had 2 water bottles. I had one scoop in this one scoop in that one. And today I found, and then there's the extra. Today, I haven't been eating as much today, and I know that has an effect. So if you start off your ride with a big meal, something that's got some staying power to it, is what I like to say, then you're going to need less fuel probably for the first hour, as you've got plenty in you already. But then once that peters out, then you can kind of add on. So what I've noticed today is that I have been eating light, and the 1 scoop of Perpetuum is just a little bit too light for me. So what I've been doing was supplementing with honey packets. Can we see that? And I also brought some of this with me, some heed. And this is 100 calories. So 1 scoop of Perpetuum is 135 calories. So I've been doing 1 scoop per hour, supplementing with a little bit of honey. And now that I've stopped, I've used up my 2 bottles. Now that I've stopped to refill one of my bottles with more Perpetuum for my 3-hour ride, then, there goes a car. Oh, we missed some cyclists just a minute ago too. They went by, it was cool. But the, I had another one of these. I put all my trash in my leg. It's all in there. It's a cyclist pocket. I put a scoop of Perpetuum and one of these in my next water bottle for my 3rd hour, and I'm going to see if that actually helps and gives me more energy. Because when I'm taking the honey on top of my normal fuel, I'm noticing a little bit boost of energy. But you know, these things are complicated, and it takes years to figure this out. There's the thing where I was saying where if you've already got a meal in you with some staying power, then that does affect how much fuel you need. And then your fatigue from the day before. My legs hurt, actually. The muscles are sore from the day before, so that's some fatigue that's not going to allow me to go quite at the heart rate that I want. But I know I can get close within a few beats. So I'm trying to figure it out, man. So that's a good thing for long bike rides, is to try to figure it out. That's what you do, especially during base training season. Start nailing down your nutrition, experimenting with stuff, and seeing what works. But anyway, next I'm going to take you to look at the laptop, and we're going to see something really cool. So hold on. Woo! It's a beautiful day, man. Check it out. This is the sun. Right in the eyes. Farmland, pastures, but it is windy, man. It's killing me. Hey dudes, I'm back. Alright, we are in the Zen-Tri Mobile Studios here in the Honda Element. Just wrapped up a swim, 3,700 yards, and I was talking to Rodney in the locker room, and there's only one person in the world over the age of 90 who has competed in butterfly, like, I don't know, 50 yards or something like that. So that's a goal, hit age 90 and swim butterfly. So those are long-term goals, man. That'll keep you healthy for the rest of your life. So, oh, there's a cop pulling somebody over. So anyway, the thing I wanted to show you was something about heart rate and how to analyze your stuff and therefore have better bike rides and such, long distance workouts. So I'm going to show you two different workouts, and let's get over here. And excuse the dirty screen, but we are in the you can tell it's pretty high tech. Does your computer have an automatic transmission? Maybe not. So the if we drift the mouse over here, these are two different bike rides. We can see this guy is 126 beats per minute average, which is with a nice little warm up right here. So in the end, that's a right in the middle of my zone 2. And then we have one here with 117 beats per minute, which is significantly lower. That's still in my zone 1 on average, and we're trying to figure out what happened. So I went out on this ride, the first one, the nice one, the 126, and you can see this nice little warm up, and then I did like a standing hill climb to kind of get my heart rate up, and then stayed here. And look how flat this is. This is beautiful, man. When I see something like this from a coaching client, the next thing I do is to see if it's even better than I think, is I find out if they were out riding hills. If they were out riding hills and they were able to sustain a nice, even, solid performance like this, uphill, downhill, everything, pee break right there. And you go, stop, pee. And then I'm like, wow, that's really, really good. That's a solid performance. That's what you're looking for in triathlon. So this was a result of really good nutrition and what I think in my case is not overeating. And then we compare it. We go up here and we compare it to this other bike ride just 2 days later. And I changed up my nutrition and ate a little bit more, I believe. And see, I've got all these notes and things like that. We're going to have to wait a second. And look at this mess. This was a flatter ride. That first ride was in the hills of East Texas, which is nice and hilly, pine forest. It's great. This is more where I live, where it's a little bit flatter. It's still rolling, gentle hills. But look at this, man. I'm all over the place. And then, you know, I did my warm-up and got up here for a while, and then bam, faded, and then crash like that. No good, man. So this is something to work on. When I see this in my own results, I'm like, okay, I had the energy, and I know from just a few days before, I had, you know, I have the ability to go 3 hours at this heart rate. And so what happened, man? What happened? Who knows, right? So this is the kind of stuff to work on in base training. So hope that helps some people. And this website is Suunto. Suunto, it's Moves Count, and it's put on by Suunto. And you can connect your watch to a cable. They probably have a wireless one too. And it automatically uploads your workouts to the web, and then you can make notes and things like that. Isn't that cool? Pretty sweet. All right.